What's with the crack, Mr. Jack? I braved the sub-zero conditions and got myself up to the Birmingham Motorcycle Show. Didn't intend to buy anything, but with Christmas coming up and my sort of performance-related bonus being spent on, like you've seen, my Ibanez guitar and Blink-182 tickets for me and my mate, there was something left over, and I knew I wanted a new helmet because on a drunken night, this is what happened to my Shoei. I took a Sharpie pen and completely bollocks that side up, so yep, you could read that. It's got my speed doesn't kill when you're blessed with all that skill, but this is gonna be a really crappy GCSE standard art piece. So, to compensate, this Nicky Hayden 2009 RX-GP helmet. I've always been a bit of a fan for Nicky Hayden, honest guy, good racer, gets a lot of stick because he doesn't produce results, but he's just a nice guy, so his colour scheme, this one in particular, I've always liked. Much the same way that I always wanted, Nakano's Moon Eyes. I've always liked Hayden's Stars and Stripes designs. That and Colin and Edwards is, discounting the fact that they are American, which is no sort of issue to me. A little tight up with the helmet. In terms of fit and finish, fit is bang on. Size medium. Size medium. This didn't require any alteration to the pads. Fitting straight onto my head. Comfortable on the 90-mile journey home from the NEC back to Cheltenham. What can I say? It's got all the neat and tidy features. You know, your Arai chin flap, your sort of emergency pull tabs. I mean, I don't really want to resort to this being used because that would be a bad day on your bike. And to compare, side by side, you look at the aperture of the eye port and you look at how big the vision through the anti-fog coating is, the pin lock, and it makes a major difference. In the cold winter and in the snow, like on my journey back, like doing sort of, you know, your standard motorway speeds, like 70 to 100 miles an hour when you're overtaking, this does make a difference. It was basically distortion free through there, had that vent open and everything else closed, didn't get chilly despite it being 0 degrees outside. Wind noise, I always wear earplugs. A lot of Arai owners complain about wind noise, but you know, protect your ears, wear a balaclava and you'll be fine. So I was able to hum a tune and like dawdle in my imagination whilst I was being bored with the monotony of the M5. So this is a very good helmet. It is a racing helmet, not a road helmet, but you know, if you have money to spend, you've only got one head, one skull. I don't want to be able to use the helmet in its intended purpose, as in protect your head in a crash, although this is Sharp tested up to 4 stars, not 5-star rating, but you know what, I spoke to the guy at the stall who worked for Sharp and he said it's still bloody good, so improvement over this. As a result of the added features, you know, it's got the reinforcement at the bottom there, which you don't particularly get. Same sort of material, structural net composite. In fact, this weighs slightly heavier by about 50 grams. You don't notice it when you're out and about. When you have this on your head, it's there's no buffeting. Like you don't get any wind noise. You don't get any buffeting. Stable and very comfortable on your head. Unlike this, 80 miles an hour on the motorway. And sort of the wide eye port makes you look as if you're stuck in a goldfish bowl. You're like it's so fucking huge, it's just no wonder you buff it. Compare that with this. give it a quick 360. And it's a good lid. In that price, $440 for the helmet, £30 for a genuine Arai dark visor with pin lock. I might get a spare pin lock for it just so that I don't have to switch over and, you know, damage the seal after every application. They did say that because of the new wider helmet design and the addition of that, which is meant to stop your helmet visor from scratching here. I'm not sure if you can see that clearly, but it feels slightly rougher because of the sort of visor opening and closing action. When you change your visor, it's a bit of a slightly different process. Sorry, I got cut off when I dropped the visor onto my spacebar, so yeah, like I said, different visor mechanism in the sense that you have to align the ports up vertically. It's not like your old sort of 10 o'clock position. So these have got extended fingers which need to go over that sort of ridge, and it's more of a push down and secure. Feels easier, but it takes some getting used to, because like I'm used to just getting it to the sort of the 10 o'clock position, round about there, slide it in, hear 2 clicks and then push it down. But so it's more, done it again, more that sort of position, 11, and then just push it down. It didn't take me long to do that, so if you are a Arai user of old, bear that in mind. You don't want to be snapping all these lugs. One thing that I am planning to do with this helmet is to take the side pods off religiously every month and give it a greasing with silicone grease right there, just so the mechanism still runs flush and true. With the winter salt being out, anything that will attack the helmet, just be very careful. Polish it, wash it in sort of just lukewarm water with something that's neutral, not acidic, not basic, so it's fine. So to conclude, this against this, is there a marked improvement? In terms of the accessories, like the neat features like the wider peripheral vision, that is noticeable, particularly in this sort of condition. The pin lock design is much improved. Wearability, it just feels like an old friend. Like this has been in service for 3.5 years, just like this, maybe 33,000 miles, 30,000 miles approximately. I expect this to see the same sort of service. I wouldn't be surprised if I need to replace the side pods at some point, but you know, it's all part and parcel of owning an Arai. You really shouldn't, but when a helmet's this comfortable, you pray for the price and all its little quirks. So if you're going to the bikes show and if you've got £400 burning a hole in your pocket, even a plain one is good. White, black, but race replica ones, certain stalls had them for $460. This one was last one in my size, $440. You could be cheeky and get a dark visor with it. It's a deal sealed. They also gave you, you know, the servicing kit. So I'm not complaining. So I'm going to love this lid and I'm going to love wearing it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Tip to the top, over and out. Ride easy on the snow, guys.